The Birth of Glory, a devotional for the seasons of Advent, Christmas, and Epiphany, produced by Northside Church. Monday, December 8th. Our scripture passage today comes from 1 Samuel chapter 4, verses 21 and 22.
She named the boy Ichabod, saying, "The glory has departed from Israel," because of the capture of the ark of God and the deaths of her father-in-law and her husband. She said, "The glory has departed from Israel, for the ark of God has been captured."
Here's another thing we learned from Ichabod's mother. Situations give birth. In the course of a single day, her people lost 30,000 men in a failed battle against the Philistines, during which both her husband and brother-in-law were killed. Eli, who was their father, her father-in-law, and the leader of her people, collapsed and died when he heard the news. And on top of all this, and worst of all, the Philistines had also captured the Ark of the Covenant, which represented the presence and glory of God in Israel. When she learned all this, whatever peace she might have had before evaporated instantly, and she immediately went into labor. Her situation, however, had filled her with something other than a baby, so that in her mind, she wasn't giving birth to a boy, but rather to grief, despair, and disappointment. Our situations give birth, which is why they often hurt the way they do. In other words, whatever situation we find ourselves in, it is bringing forth something new, and often something for which we are not prepared. But it never leaves us untouched or unchanged. The situation that rattles us to the core and steals our peace of heart and mind are those that threaten to bring forth and give birth to our darkest thoughts and most desperate moments. Maybe it's a lost job or a home. Maybe it's a divorce or an unexpected death. Maybe it's a broken relationship with a friend or a family member. Maybe it's chronic depression or crippling anxiety. Maybe it's being lost in loneliness or a consuming addiction that has become demonic. These situations fill us with something that will come forth into our lives, and how we respond to them will determine what that something is. Whatever your situation, whatever is deafening peace in your life right now, it's important that you pay attention to it, learn to listen to it, but also that you never give it the last word. Ichabod's mother allowed her situation to have the last word, and as a result, it gave birth to despair, and she allowed it to swallow her completely. Lost in the darkness, she could no longer see the light of God's presence in her situation or the situation of her people, Israel. But if we allow God to speak through our situation, then God's glory will bring forth something new and meaningful, because
The light shines in the darkness, but the darkness has not overcome it.
John chapter 1, verse 5. This can be incredibly hard during this time of year, I know, as Christmas time tends to bring our situations into sharp and often painful relief. But there is peace in God, who has lit our darkness aflame in the birth of glory himself, Jesus Christ.